for your girl.
That's right, it's a podcast.
It's pop for your girl.
We about to go out.
Pop for your girl. It's pop for your girl. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nwugochi, and welcome to Pod For Yah Girl. Yes, guys, we are back with episode 6, okay? This episode is going to be phenomenal. So if it's your first time listening, don't go anywhere. You do not want to miss this episode, okay? And I just want to welcome you guys. Welcome back, okay? Let's just take a minute to celebrate you, okay, for coming in and listening to this podcast. I really don't take it lightly. I really and truly appreciate every person who clicks that little link, okay, because we're not no big, well-known podcast, but I'm claiming it, okay? I'm claiming it. It's coming. One of these days, we are going to be the number one podcast in the world, okay? Pod For Yah Girl, we're going places. And if you don't know anything about Pod For Yah Girl, I'm just going to take the time to just really break down why I created this show. Okay, Pod For Yah Girl means so much to me, you guys. Last year, at the end of last year, something happened in the Atlanta AUC college community that really was troubling to my spirit. Okay, it was a young lady. Her name was Alexis Crawford, and many of you guys may know the story, but I'm just gonna tell a little bit about it and why that really inspired me to just really move forward with this podcast. And Alexis Crawford, she was going to Clark Atlanta University, and she had a roommate, and her roommate was really like her best friend. The girl went home with her for holidays and, knew her family. They were really close. And there was a young man that her best friend Jordan was dating. So the young man basically tried to rape Alexis Crawford and, sexually assault her, and she reported it. And so this is her best friend's boyfriend, you guys. She reported her best friend's boyfriend. And then, I guess things just went really left and eventually led to Alexis Crawford being murdered by her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend. Okay. And this story was just really so sad to me because I don't live that far from the AUC Center. And I also do campus ministry at Georgia State, where I get a chance to minister usually about 2 or 3 times a month on the Georgia State campus with the college ministry on Georgia State. And I've actually been offered the opportunity to come to Clark Atlanta a few times as well. And it just hit me so hard because I'm just like, man, if only these young women, had somebody or someone to, just pour into them, or if they only had something that was for them where they felt encouraged, where they felt like, we don't have, or, really, I'm really speaking to her best friend. I don't have to listen to this man, telling me, to do this thing, or I don't have to, be brainwashed into thinking that this guy really loves me and, I can really believe my best friend and really have her back. And so sometimes when you're in a relationship, and I've been there before, you guys, when you're in a relationship with somebody and they're trying and they are putting on their opinions on you, and they're putting their feelings on you about a certain situation, or they try to turn you against your friends, and you're in love, you're in so-called love, it works. Like your boyfriend can really turn you against your friends. And so I said to myself, you know what? I'm really going to take it upon myself to really do something about this and to really give these young women something that can help mold them and help them to believe in themselves and help them to, really, really aspire to be more. And, what made it even worse to me is that they are young Black women. And, as, women of color, like, we already go through so much. And, I really want to empower, every woman of color out there, Black, Hispanic, if you are Asian, if you are any woman of color, any woman who is, of any ethnic background, that is going to put you in that box and that standard, I want you guys to know that do not be limited. Do not be limited. Don't allow other people's opinions to come in and make you feel like you are less than anything that you are. And so that's why I created Pod For Your Girl, because this podcast is for us. It's for women of color. It's for us, so that we don't get put into, the juvenile justice system at a young age, or that we don't get put into jail, while we are supposed to be graduating from college, or we don't get put behind bars when, we are supposed to be getting married and starting a family and really pursuing our jobs and our careers and, traveling the world like, other races do. Okay. And so Pod For Your Girl, I'm sorry to get a little bit deep on you guys, but Pod For Your Girl is on a mission. Okay. And I really didn't know that I was really going to love this podcast thing so much, but I really, really love it, you guys. It's therapeutic for me to just come on and talk to you. I don't care if I have 2 listeners or if I have 30 or 40 listeners. Okay. I'm still going to be on here sharing my voice with you guys, because I believe that Pod For Your Girl is on a mission. We're on a mission to raise awareness for certain stereotypes that women of color face on a daily basis, and that women, not even just women of color, but women face on a daily basis. And so the struggle is real. The struggle is real. And I'm here to break the struggle down. I'm here to talk to you guys about some awesome topics. And I'm going to just keep going. I know, some of you guys may be asking, well, what's in the future for Pod For Your Girl? What you got going on? What you got coming up? And just to keep it real with you guys, I love this thing so much. So you're going to start seeing more and more content. I may be posting more than one podcast a week. I may be honestly posting more graphics to the Pod For Your Girl Instagram page. I'm working on incorporating this Pod For Your Girl into my actual website, so you can actually go on my website and listen to Pod For Your Girl. Also working on some events for you guys to just bring everybody together, bring women of color together, and actually get real conversations going in the room. And so, yeah, you guys are hearing me talk and you're hearing me express my concerns for different stereotypes out there, but I want to bring us together. I want to bring women of colors from all walks and backgrounds of life together, and I want to hear your stereotypes, what you face, in your culture, what you face, going through your life on a daily basis, because what's normal for me to face may not be for you, may not be the same thing that you face. So, we have some things in the works, and I really am excited about it, guys. I'm just excited for where God is taking this thing, and, we gonna ride it out. We're going to keep going. We're not going to, fall short. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing in 2020, and we're going to see where it lands us, because I really, really believe that this is needed. All right. Okay. So if you're new to Pod For Your Girl, we have 4 segments that I usually do. The first segment is called the Patch Your Weave segment. And for Patch Your Weave segment, I usually take something that is stereotypical in our lives, in our society, in our world. Like patting of the weave is stereotypical for me to do. And sometimes if I'm in public, patting your weave, it may feel a little, it may feel weird, or you may feel like you don't want to do it, or you may feel like there's, something holding you back from doing it because you don't want to fall into that stereotypical aspect of your weave, you're patting your weave or whatever. And so that is the segment. And so today, for today's segment of patting your weave, the stereotype that I want to break is the stereotype that successful women, we know it all, or we have a chip on our shoulder. That is not true. Okay. It's not true. And anybody who tries to tell you that a woman that is successful, this is going to all my college women out there, all of my young women out there that are grinding, and you guys are, looking forward to having this dope major and you're looking forward to crushing it in whatever industry you're in, don't be discouraged about doing that. Don't think that you ever have to dim yourself or dim your light in that aspect, because at the end of the day, it's not true that if you are winning or if you're successful that, you're a goody two shoes or you know it all. And it takes me back to, just that's that moment where I was in high school, and I remember feeling a certain type of way about being like a virgin in high school. And I remember, one of my friends telling me like, oh, you just think you just are too good for everything. You're just too good for everybody, for every guy. Like, what are you waiting on to lose it? And I just was thinking to myself like, man, like, maybe she's right. Maybe I should lose my virginity. And I just felt like the total outcast. And I was successful in holding on to my virginity for so long. So I was like 17 years old. And but being successful in that made me an outcast. Okay, it made me be looked at as somebody that knew it all, or somebody that was too good to just lose her virginity to anybody. Like, a lot of guys would call me stuck up or whatever. And I just was like, man, like, what? Like, why am I getting viewed like this? I thought I was doing the right thing, And I say all that to say, like, it's the same thing. Like, when you get older, this stereotype does not go away. Like, when you feel like you are right and you feel like you know what you're doing and you're grinding and you're going hard for something and you're successful in doing something, it's keeping your virginity for a long time. When you're successful in doing these great things, sometimes people that aren't, and people that, wish they had what you have, they will come for you. They will come after it. They will try to put you down. They'll try to make you feel a certain type of way. And you can't let them. You cannot let them take their opinions and put it on you as making you feel like you're too good, or making you feel like you know it all, or making you feel like you're above everything else. No, it doesn't mean that you are necessarily that. It just means that you are focused. You're focused on something and you're not letting anything else try to break that focus. And that is wonderful. Women, if you out there doing that, if you successful, if you are, focused on a specific thing and you have haters coming your way, trying to tear that thing down, block them. Okay. I need you to straight get tunnel vision on them and block every single negative thing that they have to say out. Okay. Also, another thing that comes to hinder us when we're in these type of roles, in these successful roles, is our own opinions. Okay. Sometimes our own opinions can come in and try to create boundaries for us. And when I think about it, and I say sometimes to myself, like, dang, I am my own worst critic. Like, have you ever been in a successful state and you're just like, man, like, no, it just needs a little bit more work. Or, I don't think that that's, I don't think that that's good enough. I'm going to just start all over. Or, well, I'm going to use my virginity example really quick. Like, in that situation, like, I was like, man, like, am I really like good because I'm a virgin, or am I really doing the right thing, like, by holding on to my virginity? Or, like, well, maybe, if I find the right person that I know I'm going to be with forever, and, it has to be the right person, though. It has to be the person that I know I'm going to marry, and I'm 17 years old, and, that person I lose my virginity to, maybe that will make everything okay. And maybe that will, allow me to be in a committed relationship, and then I won't be looked at as I'm a goody two shoes and I'm all, high and mighty than everybody else, and I'm, but I'm still successful because I'm in a committed relationship, and I'm, gonna marry this individual. And I say that to say, sometimes when we are successful in our lives, in our work ethic, in our in our roles in our daily settings, and we let our opinions of how others viewed us, or we let our minds start to work on these things that others have said about us, we start to formulate our own opinions about ourselves. And now we start to overthink certain situations, and we end up losing our focus. And so, don't let what other people opinions come in, and now it's created you an opinion of yourself. Okay. So if you're in a situation where you are grinding out your focus, and you are actually, doing what you got to do, don't start to create boundaries with the opinions and the hate from other people that they have put out there in the atmosphere. You got to be real careful with what other people have put out there in the atmosphere about you, about your title, about, where you come from, about where your neighborhood. Okay, this is another example I'm going to use for you guys. Me and my husband, Mike, we bought a house, and it's not a uppity neighborhood or nothing like that. It's a very, I'm going to say up and coming neighborhood. It's not, when we moved here, there were like 3 or 4 abandoned houses in the neighborhood. And, we had a couple of people that came over to our house, and they were just like, oh, y'all live in the hood. Like, y'all, man, be careful, lock your doors, like, make sure you're, everything, you know what I mean? And they just kind of made us feel like, we were just in a dangerous place. And, since we have been living here, we've been living here going on 6 years. Since we have been living in our home, it has changed tremendously. Like, all of those abandoned houses are gone. They have knocked down the houses and rebuilt new houses. Our property value has went up. Okay. Like, what we bought this house at, it has almost doubled what we bought what our mortgage is. It has, matter of fact, it has doubled. It's double what our mortgage was for this house. And so I say all that to say, if we would have listened to those naysayers, those haters, those people that, came in and said, oh, y'all live in the hood, we wouldn't have seen the success that our house had to offer. And so, yes, sometimes as women, we can walk around knowing oh, I know this house is going to boom in 5 years. I'm going to be able to triple what I sold my house for later on down the line. And nobody's going to be able to tell me nothing. It can seem a little cocky. It can seem like that. It can seem like we are the stereotypical, women that know it all. We know too much. You can't tell her nothing type of thing. But at the end of the day, no, I'm just doing what's best for me and my household. I'm doing what's best for my family. I'm doing what's best for, me and mine. Period. That's all that you got to worry about. You got to worry about, how people look at you. Don't worry about how people look at you. Don't worry about their opinions, and don't take their opinions and start formulating your own opinions in your mind about yourself. Okay? Run with what you know. If you know it, run with it. Period. Okay? Now, there's another side to this stereotype as well, because when you think about being in a relationship, nobody wants to be in a relationship with a know-it-all. That's like a big stereotypical thing. Oh, you ain't got a man? Oh, it's probably because you know it all, or it's probably because you too successful, or it's probably because no man can ever live up to your success. Come on. Am I being honest? These are things that have really been put out there into into the atmosphere, put out there into the relationship, community, and people that are, the dating community, I would rather say. It's been put out there. And, so sometimes that causes women that are successful to even dim themselves in that area where it's like, oh, okay, I know better, but I'm just gonna act like I don't know, or I'm smart, but I'm just gonna act dingy so that he'll like me, or whatever the case may be. I want to give you guys these tips, 3 things when it comes to that area. Okay, when it comes to just being that friend that is considered that friend that knows it all, or being that woman in a relationship and you dating, and that guy may feel like, oh, she just thinks she know it all. Okay, 3 things. Don't let your opinion put you in a box. Do not let your opinion put you in a box. Okay, meaning that if you are somebody that something, or you want to say something, don't allow that to create a boundary for you and say, you know what, even though I know this, I'm just going to put myself in this little box and I'm not going to say nothing at all. I'm not going to be that person that knows it all. No, don't let it put you in a box. If you know something, speak on it. It may be a great conversation, that person may not know about, or it may be a great conversation that, you can actually educate somebody, and, you may not know, like, you may actually have something more in common to bring or add to the table to that relationship. So never limit your opinion when it comes to, people that you're around, or being afraid of being the smartest person in the room. The other thing is always share your opinion, but where we get into trouble is where we make it a law, where you start to think, okay, I'm sharing my voice, I'm sharing what I think about a situation, and everybody has to believe the same thing that I believe, or else it's going to be a problem. No, that is not, no, don't make it that way. Like, don't be that way. Share what you share and leave it at that. Don't, try to beat somebody over the head with it, or try to make them believe what you believe, or try to force your opinion on them. That is where we get that stereotype from, where we're like, oh, women, y'all know it all. Y'all always got to be right. Y'all always got to know everything. And I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody to know everything. Okay, yeah, and that's true. But at the end of the day, if we are saying to ourselves, yeah, I know this and this is what I know. However, I'm not forcing you to believe that. It's just a conversational piece, like how the first tip that I gave you, leave it out there on the table, bring it to the table, but don't first force that person to take a bite. Okay. Y'all know sometimes y'all got that macaroni and cheese where you bring it to a gathering, and then, people looking at it a little suspect, and they don't really want to, try it. And then you go like, you going to try my macaroni and cheese. No, just bring it to the table. However, that person everybody ain't got to try your macaroni and cheese. It might be lactose intolerant, okay? Don't force them to eat it. All right, and the last one is, your opinion can create boundaries that you don't necessarily need. And I used this earlier when it came to, us just, creating boundaries of, our mental, on a daily perspective, like when you take other people's opinions and now you create boundaries in your mind. But at the same time, if you're not careful, your opinion on what you think can start to create boundaries. You can be that person in somebody else's life if you're not careful and you're not watchful of what you're putting out there. So, yes, your opinion is good. And sometimes, if somebody is saying to their self, like, I'm not having sex until I get married, and now you're out there and you're throwing an opinion. Oh, well, you should go out there and try. How you gonna know if you like it if you don't? That's your opinion. However, be watchful of what you're saying, because that person may really and truly believe, strongly in not having sex until they get married. So don't start to create a boundary for someone else, based off of, your belief and your opinion on what they should do with their sex life, or what they should do with their life in general. Because if you're not careful, if they're saying to themselves, well, you know what, this is something that I hold dear to my heart, and this is something that I really believe that I don't want to do, then if you start to speak that, they may not want to come around you. They may be like, okay, well, you're not edifying and you're not believing in me as a friend, and you're not believing in the standard that I have set for my life. And if you're not going to push me in that standard, then why am I coming around you? Why am I, being around you when you keep trying to sway me and go in the other position? So just like I told you to block that friend, you don't want that friend to block you based off of what you're throwing out there and you being that negative Nancy in their life. So I'm giving you two sides of the story. I'm not just being, one-sided today. I'm really kind of breaking it down because I really want you guys to understand that, yes, like as individuals, as women out here, we are stereotyped a lot. We're stereotyped a lot. And I'm not even just talking about being a woman of color out here. I'm talking about women, things that we do. Like we are looked at, as we're stereotyped a lot, you guys. And so that's why I like to break down these different stereotypes. So yes, if you're successful, if you're winning out there, I celebrate you today, girl. I really and truly do. Just make sure that you're looking at your opinions and you're looking at it very good. When you're throwing them out there, there's a way to do it so that these stereotypes are being broken. Like we're not being looked at as the biggest person in the room. Like we know everything. We're haughty. We're, these people that you just can't ever deal with because women just know it. No, we're not looked at as that. And so I really, really want you guys to take that into consideration and run with it. Go for it. Be it and love it. Okay? All right. And so now it's time for the Go Girl segment, you guys. And I have to share this experience with you guys because I'm super, super duper excited. Y'all know Go Girl is one of my favorite segments. And so for today, my Go Girl goes to Yvonne Orji. Yes, my Naija sister. Hey, I went to her show, you guys, and it was just amazing. She came to Atlanta at the Buckhead Theater, and me and my husband went, and she shut it down. It was too funny. And Go Girl for doing your thing. This Lagos to Laurel tour is just phenomenal, you guys, because we already don't have things like that in the Nigerian community where, we actually have things that are centered, that have Lagos in the title, for a mainstream person to just actually forefront, the city of one of the biggest cities in the world and the country of Nigeria. Like it's just phenomenal to me. So Go Girl, you get a Go Girl because you are breaking stereotypes in the culture, not just for women, but, for Nigerian women, period. And that is a big, 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 big deal. So you get the Go Girl. And I also want to big you up on the fact that you shared your testimony even through a comedic standpoint. And I'm not going to share, any, of her jokes or anything like that. But all I know is that if she is coming to your city and you haven't bought tickets, you need to. I don't care what culture you're from, where you're from, you're going to be able to relate to her jokes. You're going to be able to relate to what she's talking about. And it's just going to be funny. Like my husband died laughing. So if you're a guy and you think that your husband won't enjoy it, he's going to enjoy it. He's going to love it. It was just phenomenal. And I just really, really, really celebrate you, Yvonne, for doing such big things. And of course, she also has a podcast called Jesus and Jollof, which is very, very inspiring, which my girl, Vanessa, hey, because I know you be listening to the podcast. Hey, girl, she put me on that podcast not too long ago. And I had already been watching Insecure. If you guys don't know the show Insecure, with the girl on there with Issa Rae, the character's name is Molly, but her real name is Yvonne RG, and she is the comedian that I'm talking about that I went to her show. That is Molly is Yvonne, okay? So if you watch insecure and you don't really know the character and you don't really know anything about her life, which for me, I followed her on Instagram, but I didn't really know like she had all these things going on. Like I knew she was Nigerian. I knew that, she was on the show Insecure, but I wasn't like a huge fan. I just followed her, but I didn't really like keep up with her. Just being real. And then, my friends, they really just started telling me more about the stuff that she had going on and that, I should listen to her podcast and listen to, some of the stuff she talks about because I can relate. And I did, and I just became an even bigger fan. And when I found out she was coming to Atlanta, I was like, we gotta go. It's gonna be phenomenal. And so we went, you guys, and go girl, go Yvonne, girl. You better keep doing your thing. Keep on breaking these stereotypes. Keep on lifting up our people. All right. So the next segment, you guys, is the Lift Every Voice segment. And I just got to kind of calm down for this segment because it gets a little bit serious. And if you're not familiar with For Yah Girl, I always use this segment to talk about community, okay? Talk about somebody in my community, talk about what we're doing in our community. But today, I just kind of want to break down the importance of community and just make sure that you guys are understanding where I'm coming from because we about to go this year with just making sure that we are doing what we got to do in our daily lives and we're creating circles. Okay. So let me just start from the beginning. Okay. Community is important because, a community of people, they will help you push you and help you keep you centered, help push you, help direct you, help to keep your mind together. And if you don't have a community, if you're just a loner, it just can't happen. No. You're doing life wrong. I'm here to tell you, you're doing life wrong. Okay. You got to get you in a circle. You got to get a community of people. It's just too important. And I go back to, what really drove me to do this podcast, the situation with Alexis Crawford and, her being at Clark Atlanta. And I just believe if they had a stronger community, a stronger circle, this situation could have been prevented. There's nothing or no one that can really tell me anything different than this situation could have been prevented. Okay, if they had a bigger community, if they had people that they could actually share what was going on with and people actually snatching them up and being like, what you planning on doing? Get your, you know what I mean? Just get over here. No, you ain't finna do that. You crazy? You listen to this boy? No. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm sorry, like I have to go there because at the end of the day, it's just like you need that community that's really gonna slap some sense back into you when you're going out and you're going down the wrong path and you're doing something that you ain't got no business doing. Girl, get your, you know what I mean? I'm just being real. Okay, so for one, you can't just go to work and go home. You gotta find a community, whether it's health, faith, finance, workout community, a community that's just a circle that is really willing and able to just help you get your life together. Just live in a space of just knowing that, okay, my community is who I open up to. They're who I know that they will support me. I know that I can come and tell them anything and know that, they're going to be able to have my back and they're going to get me all the way right. They're going to get me all the way right. And I trust them. I trust those people. And, that's what life is about. Do not just, fall into a place where, you're just going through the motions and you don't really have anybody that is there to catch you when you fall or there to, push you in a different direction when you're going left and you need to be going right. Like, no, like you need that that community. And so find one. I can't stress it. And the biggest thing about community that I want to stress today is that a community is a circle. And you know how a circle just goes around and around and around. Once you jump into that circle and you start to go around in that circle with these individuals, what you put in is what you're going to get back. So if you're not giving your all to your community, if you're not trusting your community, how can they really help you? How can they really be there and be their best for you? Because they really don't know what's going on in your life. They might not really know, all of the things that's going on in your life. So if you call yourself a part of a community or you're a part of a circle, let them all the way in. Do yourself a favor and let them all the way in. Let them be there to help you when your marriage is going to, the wrong place, or let them be there to help you when, you and your best friend can't see eye to eye, or let them be there to help you, to give you mother advice, or whatever the case may be. Let them help you. And so, that's the importance of community. And so when it comes to us lifting our voices, don't be afraid to say something to somebody. Don't be afraid to, get out there and just lift every voice and, be a voice into somebody else's life. And then hopefully that person, when your turn comes, they could turn around and be that voice back into your life. And, that's just my lift every voice segment. And I hope you guys are inspired by that. I hope you guys are willing and able to let some people into your life that are really going to be there to encourage and inspire you and push you in the right direction. Because, the situation with Alexis, it really, 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 opened up my eyes and just made me see, even if you're a college student, how important it is to just have a community on the college campus. Find something somewhere, people that you believe in, that really believe in you, and know that they're gonna be there for you, and it's gonna be okay if you open up to them every now and then. Okay, all right. So last segment today is my thought of the day, and this thought of the day is short and sweet, but I just want to let you know that you can find a way to make it happen. Okay? If you have the permission from God, that's the first step, and that's the first thing that you need. However, once you get that permission, it's your job to get out there and really find a way to make it happen. Get the green light from God and then find a way to make it happen. And don't give up. Don't give up if, the first way you thought that you was going to make it happen doesn't work, or the first way that you initially thought things was going to happen doesn't work. It just means that you got a little bit more grinding to do. You got a little bit more work to do. You got a little bit more focusing to do. And, you can make it happen. You can make it happen. You can make it happen. I don't care what it is. It may seem impossible right now in your life. It may seem impossible in, for the future. But honestly, you are the only person that has to believe in it. And once you believe in it and you put your whole heart into it and you really, zone out on that thing and you keep grinding it out, keep making it happen, little by little, you'll see everything coming together. And, even with this podcast, even with, my ministry, with my clothing brand, with a lot of the things that have going on in my life, it's literally baby steps. I'm not looking for everything to happen overnight, or looking for, things to just manifest without me putting any hard work behind it. I know that I'm going to have to put hard work behind everything that I do. And so for you, I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Know that you can make it happen if all you do is just have the thought process and have that go-getter mentality, and know that, I don't care what it looks like right now. I see the future. I see who I'm helping in the future. I see me making a difference in the future. I see me changing lives in the future. I see me, going to, the nations in the future. This is the mindset that you need to have, that make it happen mindset. And so, that's my thought of the day. Don't worry about what it looks like right now. Always look at the future and look at who you're helping. For me, this podcast is helping women like Alexis and Jordan, who have gone through something that is so traumatic in their lives, and something that has just set a chain reaction for so many other people's lives. And my goal is to say, if one woman or one young lady can listen to this podcast and say, you know what, I'm waking up today and I'm not limiting myself today, and I'm not allowing the opinion that my boyfriend has caused me to go down this route. That's who I'm doing this for. If I could just wake somebody up with this podcast and, inspire young women and women of all colors, if I can inspire you to just go out there and be true to you and not fit into the bondage of a stereotype, or into the bondage of, people trying to put us in labels and in boxes, then I'm doing my job. Okay, so, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to Pop For Your Girl, the 6th episode. We are going hard. And like I said, I hope you guys are ready for all of the new things that I have in the works and I'm putting together. Who knew that I like podcasting so much? I didn't. But thank you again. I celebrate you. You guys are awesome. And thank you for listening to Pop For Your Girl. Peace.